Good morning, children. Today we are going to learn an interesting poem, The Listeners. Unit 2, poem, The Listeners. The poem which was written by Walter D. La Mare. Walter D. La Mare. He contributed many poems and many short stories for children. Understand? He was a multi-talented person. Before going to learn the theme of the poem, let us learn the meaning of the words in this poem, children. Understand? Let us learn who are the listeners, who is the speaker in the poem. It is a very interesting poem. Enjoy to read the poem, children. Meaning of the words: silence, calmness, still, motionless, dwell, lived place, dwelling, living places, lone house, lonely house, faint, dim, shaken, vibrating, and also in this poem, he subject pronoun is there. The pronoun he refers to the quiet or the traveler. The quiet or the traveler. Here, understand? Gray eyes, gray eyes, gray eyes. Understand? Gray eyes. The point has a gray eyes. So whose gray eyes is referred here? The poet's gray eyes is referred here. Understand, children? Gray eyes. The poet has an eyes color of gray. Understand? So his eyes is called gray eyes. Whose eyes is called gray eyes? The poet's eyes. Understand? And simultaneously we are going to learn the glossary of this poem. Listen. Champed, bun and chewed upon noisily. Ferny, consisting of flowerless plants. Ferns are flowerless plants with feather-like leaves. Understand, children? Flowerless plants with feather-like flowers. Fern. And the next one, turret, a small tower that projects from the wall of a building. Small, knocked loudly, sill. A horizontal piece of timber beneath the window or a door. A horizontal piece of timber beneath the window or a door. Perplexed, confused. Thronging, crowding. Hearkening, listening attentively. Paying wholehearted attention to listen to the words. Let us learn who paid the wholehearted attention to listen to whose answer. It is very interesting poem. Listen carefully, children. The Listeners. The poem which was written by Walter D. La Mare. Warm up. Before going to learn the theme of the poem, let us do the warm up, children. Listen carefully. You are walking into a grove at 12 noon. You feel that somebody is following you. When you walk behind, nobody is there. How do you feel? What would you do? Share it in the class. Yeah, it was not an appropriate time for discussing these questions. Understand, children? Anyhow, let us discuss these questions. Listen carefully. We are asked to share the experiences of traveling through the forest at 12 o'clock at 12 o'clock afternoon. Understand? In my opinion, many of them don't have the experiences of traveling through the forest at 12 afternoon. But those who reside beside the forest, they have the experiences of traveling through the forest. Understand, children? Let us continue to learn the theme of the poem. Listen carefully, dears. If you have an experience of traveling through the forest, you will share your experiences, what do you feel, or if somebody is following you or not. Let us continue to learn the theme of the first stanza. Listen carefully, children. Is there anybody there? Is there anybody there? Said the traveler, knocking on the moonlit door, and his horse in the silence champed the grasses of the forest's ferny floor, and a bird flew up out of the turret above the traveler's head. It's a very beautiful poem, children. Just enjoy to learn. During the night time, a traveler was riding on his horse all alone. Nobody was with him. It was a night time. Traveler was on his horse. Traveler was on his horse. Understand? He was riding his horse. He was a horse rider. Who was a horse rider? The traveler was a horse rider, or the poet was a horse rider. Understand? He happened to see that house while traveling. He happened to see that house while traveling. On seeing the house, he got down from the horse to knock the door. Due to shining of the moonlight, the door looked bright. The door looked bright in the moonlight. Understand? The door looked bright in the moonlight. It was a lonely house. He was standing in front of the house to knock the door. To knock the door. There was filled with silence. There was filled with silence. It was a night time. There was quite silence everywhere. His horse was biting and chewing the grasses and plants of the fern. Plants of the fern. It was a forest. Understand? By the means the earth or the forest was covered with the fern, grass. Understand? The traveler thought to himself that anybody was at home. That anybody was at home. So he knocked the door in the night continuously. He was standing in front of the house. He could stop, and also he could see the top of the house. He could see the top of the house. Bird was only one bird. Understand? He could see the top of the house. A bird was flying around the traveler, around the top of the house, around the top of the house. Understand? The poet or the traveler could see the top of the house. The bird was flying around the tower or top of the house. Only one bird was flying around the top of the house, and the bird was flying above the traveler's head, above the poet's head also. Do you all understand, children? Understand? Who was a horse rider? The poet was a horse rider. Who was the speaker? The poet was a speaker. Understand? Understand, children? Which time is mentioned? The night time is mentioned. Let us continue to learn the second stanza theme. Listen carefully, dears. Is there anybody there? He said. No, but no one descended to the traveler. Is there anybody there? He said. But no one descended to the traveler. No head from the leaf-fringed sill leaned over and looked into his grey eyes. Where he stood perplexed and still. Where he stood perplexed and still. Listen carefully, children. In the first time, the traveler or the poet did not get the no response. In the first attempt, there was no response. After knocking the door, the traveler did not get a proper response. So, there was no response to the knock of the door at the first time. So, the traveler knocked the door at the second time. He wished to try once again because he was curious to know if anybody was at home. If anybody was at home inside. But nobody came out from the house to give a response to the traveler. No one came down the stairs to meet the traveler. Nobody came down the stairs to meet the traveler. It was a night time. The visitor happened to see the broidered with leaves of a climber, which was climbing around the flat timber of the window. I think he expected himself that if anybody, I think, in my opinion, children, who expected? The poet or the traveler expected himself that if anybody had seen him through the window, but nobody came down. Nobody was beside the window. Understand? He did not get an answer from anyone else through the window. Understand? Due to no response from the lonely house or house during the night time. During the night time he was too curious to know. The poet was too curious to know if anybody was at home. That is the reason he knocked the door second time. Let us continue to learn the next stanza. Listen carefully, children. The poet was getting great confusion, so he did not do anything else. He was standing there without movement. Listen carefully, children. Next stanza. But only a ghost of phantom listeners that dwelt in the lone house then stood listening in the quiet of the moonlight to that voice from the world of men. Due to no response from the lonely house, he was getting quite confusion. The traveler was confused by the strange silence. He was standing in front of the door. He was standing still at the door, filled with utter confusion. His mind was filled with the utter confusion. It was a lonely house. There were no people in the house. Due to great confusion, the poet thought to himself the house was occupied by the ghosts. The house was occupied by the ghosts. He did not realize the presence of the people, so he did not get a proper response, any response from the house. He thought that the ghosts lived in the house. Yeah, nobody was there, so he thought himself that the ghosts lived in the house. They listened to the knocking sound of the door. They listened to the knocking. Yeah, the ghosts listened to the knocking sound of the door. Understand the first stanza. He told that he saw the lonely house in the moonlight. The moonlight was bright and calm. The moonlight was bright and calm. We learned, children. He thought himself, understand, he thought himself the ghosts were in the unreal world. The ghosts were in the unreal world. Even though the ghosts were in the unreal world, to listen to the voice of the man. To listen to the voice of the man. Understand, children? The ghosts were in the we are in the real world, but the ghosts were in the unreal world. Understand? It's an imagination world, children. Even though ghosts were in the unreal world, to listen to the voice of the man from the real world. Understand? Yeah, the ghosts, according to the poet, the ghosts were in the unreal world to listen to the voice of the man from the real world. According to the poet, the ghosts were the listeners. According to the poet, the ghosts were the listeners. Let us continue to learn the last stanza. To that voice from the world of man. To that voice from the world of the man. The ghosts were in the imagination world or unreal world. Even though they were in the imagination world or unreal world, they happened to hear the voice of the man from the real world. Understand? Next one. Let us continue to learn, children. Stood thronging the faint moonbeams on the dark stair that goes down to the empty hall, hearkening in an air stirred and shaken by the lonely traveller's call. Yeah. If the moon appeared in the sky, the stars are bright. The rays of the moonlight fell fell dim and dull on the door. Yeah. The stars were dark because the moonlight rays did not fall on the stars. No one lived in the house. The house was empty. The hall was empty. The hall of the house was empty. The air was quite aroused by the vibrating of the door. Understand? The air was quite aroused by the vibrating of the door. The traveler wished to know whether anybody was there or not. No one heard his calling. Only ghosts inside the lonely house heard the call of the traveler. There was no response of the traveler call. The atmosphere created the mystery. Do you all understand, children? It's very easy to understand. Just who is the speaker? The traveler is a speaker. According to the poet, who are the listeners? According to the poet, the ghosts are the listeners because he did not get the proper response from anyone else in the lonely house during the night time. Understand, children? Let's continue to learn the poet's introduction. Listen carefully, children. Walter de la Mare, 1873 to 1956, was an English poet, story writer, and novelist. He is best known for his works for children. The Listeners is said to be his most famous poem. Listen, he was born in the year of 1873. He died in the year of 1956. He was an English poet, story writer, and novelist. Yeah, he was multi-talented person. He contributed his works for children. He contributed many works for children. His most famous work is The Listener's Poem. Understand, children? Thank you. Today we are going to learn the vocabulary part homophones. What is meant by homophones? In the last class I explained you what is meant by homophones. The words pronunciations are same, the spellings are different, but the meaning should be quite different. Understand? In the last class we learned 1 to 10 with the meanings. This time we are going to learn 11 to 20. Die, the very first word, die. What is the meaning? Animals or human beings stop living. Stop living. My grandfather died in the year of death. Died in the year of 1965. 1965. Die. My father applied the hair dye. Understand? My father applied the hair dye. And the next one, fair. This fair refers to honesty. This word refers to honesty, as well as this word refers to market also. Market. Market. And the next one, this fair refers to. This fair meaning is bus fare. Understand? This fare meaning is bus fare. Understand? Bus fare. Bus fare. Amount. And the next one, feet. Understand? Feet. It refers to the measurement. You know, children, it refers to the measurement. But this feet refers to accomplishment. This feet refers to the meaning of accomplishment. Pronunciations are same, different spelling and different meanings. Understand? Flower, blossom. Understand? Blossom. And the next one, this flower refers to grinding the grains. Grinding the grains, wheat flour, rice flour. Understand? And the next one, fowl. This fowl meaning chicken. Understand? Chicken. Animals and birds. Understand? And the next one, this foul meaning is, for example, unfair or wicked or out like that meaning, foul. And the next one, hair. I have a hair color of black. I have a hair color of black. This hair refers to successor. Next, I got a legal hardship certificate. I got a legal hardship certificate. It refers to the birth rights. And the next one, heel. It refers to our heel, foot. You know, children, heel. And this heel refers to recovery. This heel refers to the meaning of recovery. And the next one, heard. I heard a loud noise. And next one, this herd. This herd is a group of animals. And the next one, here. It refers to the meaning of near. I hear cause of heard. And the next one, hole. That is small gap. This whole meaning is entire or complete. Do you all understand, children? Homophones. 10 homophones are that you try to make the sentence of your own, and you should know the difference between the two words. Understand? Here past form here. Here meaning refers to near. Whole meaning refers to gap, a small gap. Here whole refers to complete or quite or complete or entire like that meaning. Understand? Homophones means the word pronunciations are same. Word pronunciations are same. The words produce the sound same, but they have a different spellings and different meanings. They are called homophones. Do you all understand, children? Thank you.